Welcome back to the Daily Stoic Reflections channel. Have you ever felt stuck in place? Do you crave change, wanting to become a stronger, more confident, and successful version of yourself, but don't know where to start? Remember, self-development is not a destination, it's a journey. And on this journey, there are 6 crucial stages that everyone must go through. Understanding these stages will help you break through limitations, overcome obstacles, and achieve the success you truly deserve. Today, we'll explore each stage from confusion and uncertainty to becoming the strongest version of yourself. Are you ready to transform your life? If so, let's begin right now. Rocket. Stage 1, realizing that change is not easy. We all dream of becoming a better version of ourselves, more disciplined, more confident, more successful. But there's always a huge gap between wanting change and actually achieving it. And not everyone is willing to pay the price to bridge that gap. Many people have had wake-up moments when they realized they're stuck in a dead-end job. Their unhealthy lifestyle is ruining their health. They feel lost, unsure of what they truly want. They swear, tomorrow, I'll change. But then tomorrow looks exactly like today. Why? Because we mistakenly believe that wanting change is enough. But in reality, desire is just the beginning. Action is what truly matters. Most importantly, change isn't a single moment, it's the result of small, consistent efforts over time. A real-life example. Someone who wants to get in shape but only thinks about going to the gym will never see results. But someone who shows up, day after day, will gradually transform. If you truly want change, you must take action today. The illusion of overnight success. Social media is full of rags to riches stories. Young entrepreneurs making millions overnight. People losing weight dramatically in just a few months. Ordinary individuals suddenly becoming millionaires. But what's the truth? No one jumps from level 1 to level 100 overnight. Change is like planting a seed, it takes time to grow into a strong tree. Behind every success story is years of effort. Elon Musk worked 100 hours per week for years before Tesla and SpaceX succeeded. J.K. Rowling was rejected over 12 times before Harry Potter got published. Cristiano Ronaldo didn't become a football legend just by talent, he trained relentlessly for over 20 years. There are no shortcuts to lasting success. Every small effort adds up over time. Why do only a few people succeed? Because change requires sacrifice. Comfort, you must step out of your comfort zone, let go of old habits, and face discomfort. Time, there are no shortcuts, every achievement takes time to build. Mindset, sometimes, you need to let go of limiting beliefs and negative thoughts that have held you back for so long. Change isn't for those who want results without effort. If you're waiting for a miracle to transform your life, remember, the real miracle is your consistent effort, every single day. Ask yourself, are you truly ready to make sacrifices for what you want? Will you keep delaying, or will you take action now? Change isn't easy, but it's worth it. And those who commit, take action, and persist will achieve the success they deserve. Stage 2, pain, the catalyst for change. Every journey of self-development begins with a point of pain, a moment when you realize that your life is not what you want it to be. It could be the sting of comparison, financial struggles, or frustration with your inability to break bad habits. But not everyone chooses to face this pain. Some try to avoid it, while others embrace it as motivation for transformation. There is a powerful saying: people only change when the pain of staying the same becomes greater than the pain of changing. We can feel dissatisfied with our lives for a long time, but it's only when the pain becomes unbearable that we truly consider change. Examples of pain as a wake-up call. Lynn, a 28-year-old office worker, feels lost and unfulfilled. She dislikes her job, earns a low salary, and lacks motivation. One day, she sees her peers advancing in their careers, buying homes, and traveling while she remains stuck. The feeling of falling behind hits her hard, making her realize, I can't keep living like this. Nam, a young man, ignores his health for years, overeating, avoiding exercise, and gaining excessive weight. One day, a doctor warns him about his risk of diabetes. In that moment, he understands, either I change, or I suffer the consequences. No matter the reason, pain is a signal that something in your life needs to change. 2 ways to respond to pain. Option 1, avoidance, a temporary escape, but a long-term trap. Many people choose denial, excuses, or blame when faced with pain. I'm poor because society is unfair. I don't have opportunities like other people. I'm unattractive, but it's just genetics, I can't change it. I have no motivation because my job is boring. These thoughts offer temporary comfort, but in the long run, they keep you stuck. You remain in frustration, with no real improvement in your life. Option 2, taking responsibility, the first step to change. In contrast, some people take ownership of their lives. Instead of blaming their circumstances, they ask themselves, what can I do to change the situation? What mistakes have I made that led me here? If I want different results, how must I act differently? They understand that while they cannot change the past, they have full control over their future. The power of personal responsibility. Anyone who wants to change must take full responsibility for their life. No one else can change your life for you. You may receive guidance and support, but ultimately, you alone decide whether to take action. Entering this stage of self-development means being brutally honest with yourself. Ask yourself, are you avoiding your pain instead of facing it? Are you blaming external factors instead of taking action? Have you truly taken responsibility for your life? Final reminder. Change begins with you. If you don't take responsibility for your life, no one else will do it for you. Stage 3, a shift in mindset. The turning point in your self-development journey. After experiencing the pain of dissatisfaction, many people feel lost, unsure of what to do next. This is where stage 3 begins, a shift in mindset, where you realize that while you cannot change the past, you have full control over your future. A transformation in thinking allows you to see challenges differently, set clearer goals, and find the motivation to take action. Letting go of the past to focus on the future. Many people remain trapped in regret, dwelling on missed opportunities and past mistakes. If only I had worked harder before, I wouldn't feel so lost now. It's too late to change, there's no point anymore. Everything is already decided, I can't do anything differently. But try looking at it from another perspective. You cannot rewind time to change what happened. But you can change how you respond to the present and shape your future. A powerful real-life example is Chris Gardner, the man whose story inspired the pursuit of happiness. Once homeless and sleeping in public restrooms with his son, he refused to accept his circumstances as his destiny. Instead, he learned to sell stocks, worked relentlessly, and later became a successful millionaire. Your past does not define who you are. What you do today will shape who you become. Developing a growth mindset, the key to breaking limits. Psychologist Dr. Carol Dweck identified two primary mindsets that determine how people approach life. Fixed mindset believes that intelligence and abilities are fixed and unchangeable. Fears failure because it is seen as proof of incompetence. Gives up easily when facing difficulties. Example, someone with a fixed mindset might think, I'm just not good at math, so no matter how hard I try, I won't improve. Growth mindset believes that abilities can be developed through learning and practice. Sees failure as an opportunity to grow, not as a dead end. Continuously seeks improvement rather than staying within comfort zones. Example, someone with a growth mindset might think, I may not be great at math now, but with consistent practice, I can improve. Every failure teaches me something valuable for next time. Adopting a growth mindset helps you overcome fear and actively seek solutions to challenges. From awareness to action, a clear roadmap. Once you shift your mindset, you need to take action with a clear direction. This will help you move past confusion and into a structured path forward. Step 1. Self-analysis. Ask yourself, what am I most dissatisfied with about myself? What kind of person do I want to become? What skills or habits do I need to develop to reach that goal? Step 2. Create a long-term plan, 3 to 5 years. After understanding yourself, set a structured personal development plan. Break your big goals into smaller, manageable steps. In 6 months, read 5 books in my desired field. In 1 year, complete an advanced course in my area of interest. In 3 years, secure a job aligned with my new career direction. Step 3. Find positive role models to learn from. No one succeeds alone. One of the most effective ways to grow is by learning from those who have already achieved what you aspire to. Ways to do this. Read books or resources from successful individuals in your field. Follow and engage with inspirational figures. Seek mentorship if possible. Conclusion: the power of perception. Stage 3 in self-development is a crucial turning point. When you change the way you see yourself and the world, you stop being a victim of circumstances and start taking control of your life. Remember, you cannot change the past, but you can create a better future. A growth mindset is the key to overcoming limitations. Taking action with a plan will help you go further on this journey. Are you ready to rewrite your life story? Stage 4. Initial effort and motivation, the spark that ignites change. After experiencing a shift in mindset, you enter the stage of real action. At this point, you are filled with excitement, eager for transformation, and ready to build a better life. However, initial motivation is like a spark. If not managed well, it can fade away quickly. How can you maintain momentum? How do you turn early enthusiasm into real results? Let's explore the key strategies to sustain long-term effort. The excitement of setting a new goal. Do you remember the feeling of setting a big goal? You imagine success and how your life will improve. You feel energized and ready to do whatever it takes. You create to-do lists, buy new tools, gather resources, and enroll in courses. This surge of motivation is natural, but many people fall into a common trap expecting immediate results. The trap of unrealistic expectations. Here are some typical scenarios. Someone starts going to the gym and expects visible muscle growth within a week. When they don't see instant results, they lose motivation. A language learner believes they will be fluent in a month, but after weeks of struggling with grammar and vocabulary, they feel discouraged. A person deciding to change careers feels frustrated when they don't land a new opportunity after just a few weeks. The reality of long-term change. Sustainable transformation doesn't come from a short burst of energy, it comes from consistent effort over time. You must control expectations and focus on the process, rather than being obsessed with immediate outcomes. How to maintain motivation and consistency. Principle 1. Create small wins. Instead of setting overly ambitious goals, break them down into smaller, achievable steps. Instead of aiming to lose 10 kilograms in a month, focus on losing 1 kilogram at a time. Instead of trying to master a language in 3 months, focus on learning 10 new words daily. Instead of aiming for a complete career switch in weeks, focus on building new skills step by step. Principle 2. Take action regardless of feelings. One of the biggest mistakes at this stage is only taking action when you feel motivated. Some days, you won't feel like working out, but you should do it anyway. Some days, you won't feel like studying, but you need to stay consistent. Some days, you'll doubt yourself, but progress happens when you keep going despite uncertainty. Successful people don't rely on motivation alone, they rely on discipline and routine. Principle 3. Use community and accountability for support. Find like-minded people who share your goals. Tell someone about your goals to create accountability. Join a group, club, or class to keep yourself engaged. Being part of a support system increases motivation and makes it easier to stay on track. The key to long-term success. This stage is like starting a car, it takes more fuel to get moving, but once the engine runs, it becomes smoother. You don't need to be perfect from the start. Be patient with yourself. Focus on the process, rather than obsessing over instant results. Turn effort into a habit, rather than relying on temporary bursts of inspiration. Self-development is a marathon, not a sprint. Those who stay consistent and follow the right strategy will go the farthest. Reflection questions. Have you ever fallen into the initial motivation trap? What will you do to ensure you don't lose motivation when challenges arise? Start today, take small steps, and stay committed to the journey. Stage 5, the motivation slump, the biggest challenge in your journey of change. After the initial excitement and motivation, you will encounter a real test, the motivation slump. This is the phase where enthusiasm fades, doubts creep in, and your good habits start to waver. No one can avoid this stage. But those who know how to overcome it are the ones who truly progress in their self-development journey. Why do we lose motivation? When you start something new, your brain releases dopamine, a neurotransmitter responsible for excitement and motivation. Setting goals and making plans boosts dopamine levels. Seeing initial progress keeps dopamine flowing. However, when results don't come as fast as expected, dopamine drops. This is a natural process. The body regulates dopamine to prevent you from chasing excitement all the time and instead encourages long-term persistence. That's why when you feel bored, lazy, or unmotivated, it's not a sign of failure, it's simply your body's way of balancing itself. When motivation fades, doubts begin. At this stage, you start questioning yourself. Am I on the right path? Why haven't I seen results yet? Am I even capable of this? Is this really worth it? At this point, two things can happen. You persist and keep going, even without excitement. You give up, retreat to your old comfort zone, and convince yourself maybe this just isn't for me. The truth is, everyone faces self-doubt at this stage, but only those who push through it will see real change. The danger of breaking good habits. This is the most critical moment in personal growth. When motivation declines, your good habits start to break. You skip one gym session. You procrastinate on studying one day, then two, then an entire week. You slip back into unhealthy eating, telling yourself, just this once. But once quickly becomes twice, then 3 times, and soon, you're back to your old ways. Why does this happen? The brain loves familiarity. Your old habits have been wired into your brain for years, while your new habits are still forming. When things get tough, your brain instinctively returns to what feels comfortable even if it's bad for you. How to prevent this from happening? If you miss one day, don't let it become two. If you feel like quitting, remind yourself why you started. If you struggle, go back to the smallest possible step to keep momentum. Many people give up because they mistakenly believe that losing motivation means they aren't good enough. But even the most successful people have moments when they feel like quitting. How to push through the motivation slump? Principle 1. Accept that motivation is temporary. You won't always feel motivated, but you don't need motivation to keep going. Shift your focus from relying on inspiration to building discipline. Principle 2. Maintain small actions. When motivation fades, don't push yourself to do everything perfectly, just do something to stay on track. Examples. No time for a full gym session? Do 10 push-ups instead of skipping entirely. Can't commit to reading a full chapter? Read just one page but don't skip a day. Feeling unmotivated at work? Shift focus to simpler tasks to maintain momentum. As long as you keep the habit alive, you won't return to square one. Principle 3. Remind yourself why you started. Take a moment to reflect. Why did you want to change in the first place? Why do you want to be healthier? Why do you want to learn this new skill? Why do you want to improve your life? Write these reasons down and read them every day. This will reignite the fire within you. Final thought. The motivation slump is the toughest phase of self-improvement. But if you understand that it's a normal part of the process, you won't see it as failure, you'll see it as a test of perseverance. If you push through this stage, you'll enter the final and most rewarding stage of transformation. Are you ready to keep going? Stage 6, Persistence and Discipline, from effort to instinct. After overcoming the motivation slump, the biggest challenge in self-development, you now enter a completely new stage, persistence and discipline. At this point, you no longer rely on temporary motivation. Instead, you build a solid system of discipline and habits. What once felt like a struggle now becomes a natural part of your life. The difference between those who succeed and those who quit. Most people give up when motivation fades. But successful people do not let emotions dictate their actions. They keep going not because they always feel like it, but because they have trained themselves to stay disciplined. Cristiano Ronaldo doesn't wait for inspiration to train, he has practiced daily for over 20 years. Warren Buffett doesn't read only when he's in the mood, he reads hundreds of pages every day as a part of his life. Stephen King doesn't write only when creativity strikes, he has a habit of writing 2,000 words daily, no matter how he feels. The key lesson. Success does not come from short bursts of motivation, it comes from consistent discipline. When actions become instinct. After repeating an action enough times, your brain creates new neural pathways. What once required effort and willpower now becomes natural to you. This is the true sign that a habit has become a part of your identity. A person who has eaten healthy for years no longer craves junk food, because their brain has adjusted to a healthy lifestyle. A person who practices meditation daily no longer struggles to sit in silence, because mindfulness has become second nature. A writer who has written every day for years no longer fears the blank page, Because writing has become an instinct. At this stage, self-discipline is no longer a burden. It is a lifestyle. How to maintain long-term persistence and discipline. Principle 1. Don't let one bad day ruin everything. Everyone has bad days. But the key is not letting one bad day turn into a bad week or a bad month. Examples. Missed a workout? That's okay, just get back to it tomorrow. Skipped studying for a day? Don't let it turn into a full week. Ate unhealthy for one meal? That doesn't mean you should abandon your entire diet. The most important thing is your ability to reset immediately and not let minor setbacks derail your progress. Principle 2. Make it your identity. Instead of just trying to be disciplined, become a disciplined person. Change how you talk about yourself. Don't say, I'm trying to work out. Rightward arrow, say, I am someone who lives a healthy lifestyle. Don't say, I'm trying to read more. Rightward arrow, say, I am a person who values knowledge. Don't say, I'm trying to save money. Rightward arrow, say, I am someone with smart financial habits. When you see yourself as the kind of person who takes action, you will naturally behave in a way that aligns with that identity. Principle 3. Always have a bigger goal to work toward. Once you achieve a goal, set a new one to maintain momentum. Examples. Someone who used to run 5 kilometers daily can now train for a marathon. Someone who learned one language can challenge themselves with another. A small business owner can expand into international markets. Growth has no limit as long as you keep setting new challenges. Final thoughts. You have become a stronger version of yourself. You are no longer controlled by emotions. You no longer rely on motivation to take action. You no longer fear challenges, because you understand that persistence leads to success. Self-development is not a destination, it is a way of life. Reflection questions. Have you ever persisted long enough for something to become natural to you? What aspect of your life will you apply these principles to next? Remember, success does not belong to the most talented. It belongs to those who never give up. Are you ready to take the next step?